Well, good afternoon. If everybody could please take your seats. All right, I want to welcome everybody to the joint House and Senate Judiciary Committee. There's a weird echo in this room. Turn this down just a little bit. Good afternoon. Thank you all for joining us. We have one thing on the agenda today, and I will kick it off, and I'll hand it to my fellow chairman in the House. In the Senate folders, there's a copy of the law, OCGA 15-5A-7, that talks about the appointment process for our business court judge. And the governor has, of course, appointed Judge Bill Hamrick for this position. And we're today in a joint hearing to consider this appointment and hopefully come together and confirm this appointment. In that process, while this is a joint hearing as the law allows, each chamber has their own rules. And so we will take separate votes at the appropriate time after we finish with the hearing today. I want to start by thanking Judge Walt Davis. Is Walt in the room? There you are. I need you somewhere. Thank you for your service. You took on a very difficult task of starting a new court. And as you told us several years back when you took this position, you were going to build the reputation for this court and sell this court around the state. And you've done that. And I think you've set the stage with a great reputation. And we all really appreciate your service, especially taking the time out that you did of your career with your family to do this. And I just want to say thank you for what you've done for this court and for our state. And with that, I'll pass it off to Chairman Efstration.
Well, thank you, Chairman Strickland. I want to thank the members for being here today. In 2017, the Georgia Court Reform Commission considered changes to the judiciary, and one of the recommendations made was to create a statewide business court. Georgia, as we all know, is the #1 state in the country for business, and the important message that was sent by having a statewide business court with expertise in complex business litigation, the ability to handle cases on an expeditious basis, and to take really the lessons learned from the Metro Business Court, Fulton County Business Court, and other successful business courts that had been seen across the country and bring it here to Georgia was a very exciting prospect. When the voters approved the constitutional amendment in 2018, enabling legislation was then passed, and the governor is to make a nominee, and then the House and Senate Judiciary Committees, as Chairman Strickland outlined, are to consider and, if appropriate, confirm the governor's appointment. I want to echo the sentiments that were shared about Judge Davis. Judge Davis and I first had an opportunity to work together actually when the statewide business court legislation was under consideration. Judge Davis, with a very prestigious career, a very accomplished individual, decided to take on public service and helping to establish this court each day was helping to make decisions and to increase the knowledge and publicity of the court. Has really done an incredible job of publicizing this new court in Georgia, and I want to thank him for his service. With the news that he is moving on to other opportunities, it's before us here today to consider Judge Hamrick. Very excited to be here for this hearing, this opportunity, and I want to thank Governor Kemp for making the nomination of Judge Hamrick. To introduce Judge Hamrick to us here today, I'll call on Representative Tyler Paul Smith, who is an attorney, member of the House Judiciary Committee, and in whose district Judge Hamrick currently serves as a Superior Court judge. Representative Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Strickland. It's an honor today to be here to introduce to you one of my two home circuit judges, Superior Court Judge William Bill Grady Hamrick III. Judge Hamrick, just for a little bit of background information, was appointed to the Superior Court of the Coweta Judicial Circuit in September of 2012 by Governor Nathan Deal. Prior to joining the bench, he began working on business and commercial litigation in his first job as a lawyer in 1995, which continued throughout his career working as general counsel for Ray Lynn and Associates prior to joining the bench. He also served as a Georgia State Senator for the 30th District, representing the citizens of Carroll, Douglas, and Paulding counties. During his tenure in the legislature, Judge Hamrick chaired the Senate Judiciary Committee, Banking and Financial Institutions, and Higher Education Committees, as well as the Criminal Justice Subcommittee on Appropriations and the Senate Study Committee to rewrite the Juvenile Justice Code. He also served on the Ethics and Public Safety Committees. To say that he covered the gamut would be an understatement. Judge Hamrick currently serves as the chairman of the Legislative Committee of the Council of Superior Court Judges. He also serves on the Council's Rules and Pattern Jury Instruction Committees. Judge Hamrick graduated from the Auburn University with a degree in finance. He obtained his law degree at Georgia State University. Judge Hamrick's a native of Carrollton, where he grew up, and he lives there now today with his darling wife, Susan, who is seated to the right of me. I can say this of Judge Hamrick: it has been an honor to have practiced in front of him in the Coweta Judicial Circuit, and to let all of you know there is not a better studied, well-read judge in any circuit of the whole state that I could think of other than Judge Hamrick. He obviously operates one of the biggest caseloads in our circuit and does so with the most judicious efficiency that you can find concerning all the issues we've had with COVID. So it is my honor to introduce to the committee today, again, Judge William Bill Grady Hamrick III. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you, Representative. Judge Hamrick, if you want to come over to the podium here. And I will give you the floor.
Thank you, Chairman Strickland and Chairman Administration, all the members of the committees. Thank you for being here. I know it takes time out of your busy schedule to do this. There was a concern at some point we may not have a quorum, but Susan said she would be happy to step in and be appointed ex officio if we need a quorum. Thank you, Tyler Paul Smith, Representative Smith, for that introduction. I want to thank David Dove with the Governor's Office. If y'all have worked with David, you know how well he does his job and how he does a great job for the state of Georgia. And of course, I want to thank Governor Kemp for his appointment and his confidence in me to do this job. I want to thank Walt Davis, who has ensured that this, if approved, this will be a smooth transition. We've had several conversations. He's let me in on the budget, on the inner workings of the court. He's answered any questions I've had. He has taken his time to familiarize me with the people at the statewide business court and how the court operates. My wife Susan is here with me. I want to thank Susan. She's always very enthusiastic in her support of me in whatever I do. I'm sure when you were contemplating the establishment of the statewide business court, there was probably a feeling of if we build it, they will come. And as Walt will tell you, they have come. From 22 counties around the state of Georgia, the cases have come in from all over the state, and the court has been busily having hearings. You can actually watch the hearings. They're Zoom hearings, and they're archived on the website. And I've kind of been studying a little film myself, but that gives you an idea about what the court does, the types of cases the court hears, and it's very transparent. It's the typical issues you would see in a business court: restrictive covenant issues, business divorces when things don't go right and somebody disagrees with the way an operating agreement is being complied with, all types of contract disputes, and as is typical for business courts, lots of discovery hearings, because there is so much discovery to work through in the business court. There's been one jury trial. That jury trial was actually in the Nathan Dill Judicial Center. They made a makeshift trial court room and held a jury trial. There's another jury trial scheduled for December in Cobb County. And most of the cases have been small businesses, which I think is a good sign. So there's a solid foundation set. Not just Walt, but the staff there, Angie Davis as the clerk, have done a great job. And with your approval, I look forward to getting to work and keeping the cases moving. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you would have.
All right. Does any member of the House or Senate committee have a question? If so, push your button, please. All right, there are no questions. That could be good or bad, I guess.
I'm happy. I'm happy to hang around and answer any questions that you.
The appropriate thing to do at this point, I'm going to recognize the members of the Senate Judiciary Committee. And the motion that I would like to recognize will be a motion to approve the appointment. Judge, I called you Judge, look at that. Senator Cowsert.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move that we confirm Judge Hamrick to this position.
All right, Senator Cowsert has moved to approve the appointment of Judge Bill Hamrick. Is there a second? There's a second from the Senate. Don't get ahead of yourself either. Is there a second from Senator Rhett? We have a motion for the Senate members. All those in favor, please raise your hand. And it carries unanimously. All right, Chuck, your turn.
All right. So with respect to members of the House Committee on Judiciary, is there a motion to approve the appointment of Judge Hamrick as the statewide business court judge? See a motion from Representative Bruce. Is there a second? Motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, he is confirmed unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chairman Strickland, Chairman of Strachan, and all of you. Thank you so much.
I want to thank everyone for your time being here today, taking the opportunity to take part in this very important process and responsibility that we have throughout the year. And with that, we are adjourned.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you.